Howdy folks, and in today's video, I wanted to give you some findings that I found while doing DPS testing for our next video. Now, it's going to take me a few more days to get this next video out, so I wanted to give you guys something in the meantime. So I decided to make this video telling you why you should stop using swarmers. Now before we get into the example clips, I wanted to take a quick second and promote my Twitch here, as I'll try to stream on it more often, and if you guys can go down, leave me a follow, first link in the description, that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you. Now, here's going to be a DPS test of me using the swarmers, and I want to start out before we get into the clip is that I want to say that everything in this is going to be the exact same, the only difference is going to be exotics. What we are using for testing could be slightly better, as we are using a hothead with auto-loading Vorpal instead of explosive light. But that shouldn't matter for this video, considering these are tested in the exact same way. Along with that, we are using the new fusion rifle from Neomuna because it has volt shot and it is arc, the same as our rocket launcher, so we stack up on triple surges. And because it does have volt shot, it allows us to stack up on jolt before we start damage, allowing us to get extra damage from the jolting effect. Lastly, we have Wither Horde just for a damage over time effect. Now on average with these builds, I would usually hit it anywhere from 2.7 to 2.5 million. Now while the rest of this clip plays out, I wanted to thank you guys for all the subscribers as of late. It's been really amazing watching all you guys come in here and leave comments. I've been trying to reply to as many as I can, but there is just quite a few. I apologize if I do not reply to a comment. But if you guys could leave a sub, that would be greatly appreciated, as we are almost to 1,000 subscribers. Now back to the video. If you do not know what swarmers do, they basically apply unraveling to targets whenever they get hit by a threadling. From what I've seen, most of the DPS builds use threadlings, as even the super is just a bunch of threadlings. Now the reason why people use swarmers inside of their DPS builds is usually because it applies that unraveling. And if you don't know, unraveling is basically just another damage over time effect. Now in this next clip, I would like to propose another exotic that we could be using for damage with strand. And that exotic is going to be the Eye of Another World exotic. Now the reason for this is because it gives you a 50% bump to your ability regens. With that in Thread of Generation, you should be getting your grenades back for your Thread of Ascent very quickly. But then you might be thinking, wait, how are we going to apply our unraveling? So if you wanted to apply your unraveling effect onto your enemies, I would use your arcane needle. It's going to be your melee attack. Basically any target your melee hits will apply unraveling to. One cool thing about unraveling too is that the unraveling effect will not go away as long as you're doing damage. So as long as you're doing damage with rockets, Wither Horde, or any other weapon, your unraveling will not go away and it'll always be ticking in the background. What's great about this too is that warlock has 3 melee charges, so if you have to move from spot to spot for damage, then it's going to be amazing when you have 3 charges. And here's going to be an example of one of the phases that I have with this build, and typically I would hit anywhere from 2.8 mil to 2.6, but from my testing, this basically states that while these are not extremely different numbers for damage, you can get slightly higher with Eye of Another World because of the slightly faster ability regen. The one bad thing I can state about the Eye of Another World build is that trying to remember your melee when you're not used to it. When trying to learn this build, it took me a long time to actually remember to use my melee before starting damage. I think that sums up today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, please leave a like, sub, and comment. That would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.